It is a picture by Leonardo da Vinci representing something known as the walled garden of the Virgin. We see a big stone wall back there with kind of a forbidding nature, and then inside little children and flowers and an angel. This represents a medieval idea that the Virgin brings into an enclosed space, kind of healing of the natural world. So gardens were built with walls around them and symbolic sculptures in order to create a safe space on the inside. I've been working on that for a couple years, so I'd like to share some of those things that I've done with you. A walled garden can have many different moods. This is one. Here's a little bench, and a little pond, and it's quiet. Statue of the Virgin with water coming out. It's a place to sit and contemplate in a quiet way some of the mysteries of nature. This is one mood. This is another mood. This is what I like to call the Virgin of the Rubble. You see, she's a black Madonna, and she's up there on her pedestal with a little fallen obelisk that's broken. Picture here is she's inherited the rubble but is standing above it. I've done many sculptures like this in little settings around my garden to try to create a safe space for the elementals that are in it. So I'd like to take you on a little tour. There's a rosemary plant along a wall, planting a wall. This is the eastern side of the garden with an entrance here where people would come to go into the garden. So traditionally the entrances were filled with symbolic imagery that were meant to protect the entrance from dark forces. So I'm in the east. This is the northeast side of the entrance with a black Madonna, two little gnomes on the side, and crystals. She's on a little platform there, and little plaques of an angel and another angel guiding and guarding the space for her. And then up here there's a little plaque with the rosy cross of Christian Rosenkreuz. This is an herb bed with Helichrysum italicum along the wall, and on the end there is a little obelisk with rose quartz and quartz crystals in it, kind of holding the corner. And we'll go to the other corner. Here's the rose cross again, a little plaque of a flower, and another rose cross. And here is a little symbol of the pregnant snake. The pregnant snake was always used in the past to represent the ability of the nature forces to go from low functioning to high functioning. Snakes can either lay eggs or bear their young alive. The pregnant snake is a symbol of the natural world that is connected to the divine world. So we're here in the eastern entrance, and native people said this is the space of illumination as you go in through the central path of the garden. Let's go to the south side. So here we are on the south side, the place of trust and innocence. A little plaque with a rose, a Guadalupe on one side, another Guadalupe on the other side with an angel, and a symbol up there known as the Great Monad of John D. It's a combination of all the planets together. We'll look at that and explain it in a moment. Here then is a Madonna in the Mexican mode with the world egg standing in front of her obelisk. This is the southeast corner. When you come in from the street, there's the first thing you encounter in the garden. She's here to kind of hold the south, the place of trust and innocence. We're moving along the south side. You see rocks. These are some herb plants. I plant herbs on the end of all the vegetable beds. I like to think of rocks as plant bling, kind of little necklaces. Here's a mini enclosed garden for an herb plant. Next to a little stone tower. Now the stone tower is based on the idea of the Celtic round towers. Below is granite, and on the inside of the granite blocks that resist flow, there's blocks made out of pieces of gneiss that enhance flow. So between the inside and the outside, there's a charge happening. And then a cap here made of rose quartz, very beautiful and healing plant. And then a cross at the top. This is meant to be a kind of stabilizing element here on the south side, receiving the sunlight. And if we look up, we see there's another one up at the other end. Let's go take a look at that. The idea of a stone tower that kind of acts as a focal point for the energies in the garden and protects it from the south. The red rocks there are nice. They conduct energy, and down below is a granite that kind of resists energy. Between the two, you have a charge buildup. Research shows that sunlight hitting a tower like that creates a kind of field around it. We're trying to create a field here by enclosing the whole garden in these types of structures made out of rocks and concrete and stones as a continuation of the philosophy of the walled garden. The idea is that we're trying to create a safe sanctuary for elemental beings. So now we're here on the west side. We've moved from trust and innocence in the south to the west, which the native people said is looks within. Introspection. Things get a little dark. So there's another rose cross there to try to protect it. The wall extends along the west side and then forms a little small enclosure for this beautiful plant. It's down in the winter now, but this is Togetes lucida, a plant used traditionally by healers in Mexico for anxiety, especially in dream states. I believe this plant here in this corner of the west is a kind of guard against darker influences coming into the elemental world through the west. So I've made a little angel here, one wing dark, one wing light, to represent the transition between daylight and nighttime, the dreaming space, this place of the west is a place of dreaming. So here's now the other side of the gate. Looking down, we have another Black Madonna here. She's got a background of winter savory, a very healing and soothing plant. And she's accompanied by two angels here guarding the space of the dream. And then the Great Monad of John D. This is a combination of the signatures of all the planets. Mercury, Venus, Mars, arrow to Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Together, those images represent a kind of protection of the gate here in the west. As you enter the garden from the west, I want the elementals to feel like they have a safe place and that the entrances are guarded. So there's the wall. We have a small repeater for the large towers. And now we'll go to the place of the north. There's another view of that tower with a guardian here. The place of the north is the place of death. So in the northwest corner is a very dark space. And then that whole north wall has a gap that runs all the way down the edge of the garden with a wall. That gap was dug there in order to protect the garden from the invasion of a huge oak tree. That I'm standing under, that has roots. It goes 60 feet all the way to the other end of the garden, and we're entering into my garden beds and sucking all the moisture out. So I had to get my little shovel operating and make a trench and make a wall to prevent invasion of the death forces from the place of the north. So now we're going all the way back into the place of the east. So now we're in the northeast corner. There's a little shrine. There's a little image of the Black Madonna in meditation. Next to a beautiful rosemary bush. This is the northeast corner. We're making a turn here back into the light. So in the northeast corner now, this is a little image that's meant to represent the journey of Jumping Mouse. This is a strange mountain range here with a spirit lake down below and a waterfall going down into mountain peaks and disappearing. But then it emerges again and moves down slope and around a corner where it begins to disappear into a cavern. This is the stream of life. But it doesn't end there. The stream of life goes on. As we pull back, we see that it disappears underneath a smaller walled garden with beautiful colors and crystals. Once again, image of the Blessed Mother. And that's a tour of my walled garden, honoring the Blessed Mother and providing a safe sanctuary for the elemental beings who create our food and medicines for us. Thanks for watching.